Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Alligators are dangerous predators with their armored, lizard-like bodies, strong tails, and formidable jaws. They feed mainly on fish, turtles, snakes, and small mammals. What do you think will happen if this apex predator comes face to face with another freshwater predator that is notorious for stunning his victims with a 600-volt electric current? Will the alligator be successful in devouring his victim, or will he have to run for his life? We'll find out if you stick with us. If you ever put a 9-volt battery on your tongue, you'll know that electricity tastes terrible. There's also that unpleasant, painful jolt in your mouth, kind of like licking an electric fence. Now imagine ramping that battery up from 9 volts all the way to 860 volts, and you're starting to get an idea just how much biting an electric eel sucks. So how do electric eels deliver such a powerful shock? What can that much electricity do to a human being? And did the caiman make it out alive? You'll have to stick around to find out. Electrophorus electricus, otherwise known as the electric eel, is a curious fish. Despite having the word eel in its name and looking exactly like one, they're not eels at all. In fact, they're part of the gymnotiforms family of knifefish and are more closely related to a catfish or carp than a traditional eel. These famous freshwater predators get their name from the enormous electrical charge they can generate to stun prey and dissuade predators. Their bodies contain electric organs with about 6,000 specialized cells called electrolytes that store power like tiny batteries. When threatened or attacking prey, these cells will discharge simultaneously. Up until 2019, it was believed there were only one species of electric eel that was before an expedition found and classified 2 more species, Electrophorus vari and Electrophorus voltage, growing up to 8 feet long and weighing as much as 44 pounds. They live in the murky streams and ponds of the Amazon and Orinoco basins of South America, feeding mainly on fish, but also amphibians and even birds and small mammals. As air breathers, they must come to the surface frequently. They also have poor eyesight, but can emit a low-level charge less than 10 volts, which they use like radar to navigate and locate prey. You'll find electric eels throughout the northeast of South America, including the Amazon and Orinoco river basins. They love lurking through slow-moving freshwater creeks and swamps, using their secret superpower to stun and kill their diet of fish, shrimp, amphibians, and sometimes even small mammals. For centuries, the indigenous tribes of Venezuela called the electric eel a rimna, or something that deprives you of motion to catch these slimy, sparkly treats. Tribesmen used to drive herds of wild horses into the eel-infested ponds. The horses' hooves would churn up the mud and bring all the eels to the surface, where they would leap out of the water and attack. The tribesmen would wait until the swarm of rapidly discharging eels had run out of juice before jumping in and catching 1 or 2 for dinner. This technique was witnessed by Prussian explorer Alexander von Humboldt, who in 1800 became utterly fascinated by this mystical creature in a remote rainforest village in Venezuela called Loquianos. Alexander set up a series of crude experiments to test the strength of the electric eel's shock. Now when I say crude, I mean crude. There were no voltmeters or amperage meters. Humboldt would simply grab the eel and objectively rate the power of each electric jolt. After 4 hours of experiments and some seriously shocking blasts, Alexander reported that his muscles ached well into the next day, despite knowing that electric eels packed a seriously heavy electric punch. It would be at least 100 years before scientists would figure out how they did it. The secret to an electric eel's shocking talent lies in 3 pairs of specialized organs throughout their abdomen. There's the main organ, which spans half the dorsal section of the eel's hunter's organ, which runs the length of the eel's underbelly and sacs organ, which makes up the dorsal part of the eel's tail. These organs contain hundreds of thousands of modified muscle cells called electrolytes arranged in perfect rows. Similar to the cells of a battery, the organization and stacking of these electrolytes allow a current of charged ions to flow through them, building current as it charges up. Electric eels also use the electrolytes in their sacs organ to emit a steady stream of weak electric pulses to create a field around them. This field is used for communication and active electrolocation, their way of seeing in the dark, murky environment. So how do electric eels use these two voltage attacks to take down prey or defend themselves from predators after sensing a disturbance in the water? Electric eels emit 2 or 3 strong pulses as much as 860 volts. These high voltage pulses act as a taser, hijacking the animal's nervous system, causing the prey to violently twitch in the water. This sudden movement generates waves that reveal the animal's hiding place. This all happens very quickly. Eels are able to temporarily stun fish in less than 3/1000ths of a second. Once the prey is immobilized, the electric eel can swallow its meal whole. Oh, if that's not terrifying enough, by curling up. The electric eel can actually make the discharges even more intense by overlapping the electric fields generated at each end of the electric organ. You're not just in danger in the water either. Electric eels are known for leaping out of the water, pressing their chin on you for an even more intense shock. So why is this when an eel is completely submerged, the current is conducted by the water, closing the loop? When they leap out of the water and press their chin, the positive pull against their target gets charged. The electrical current is forced to travel through the body of the target to reach the negative pull. The end result was an even bigger shock. Scientists measured this in an experiment using a prosthetic arm fitted with electricity sensors that lit up when activated. When the arm was placed into the tank, the eel leaped out of the water, causing the highest discharge from just underneath its chin. How are you at handling electric shocks? Are you brave enough to swim with an electric eel? Let us know in the comments below. So we know electric eels regularly take down small fish, but what about larger animals? Curious dogs are no match for the static charge of an electric eel. In fact, one shock sends this German Shepherd whimpering. But it's the Amazon caiman who finds itself often tussling with the electric eel, and it can be a flip of the coin who comes off second best. Sometimes the warning pulses of an electric eel stop the caiman dead in its tracks. The ravenous reptile was shivering violently for a few seconds before regaining his composure and making a run for it. Other times, it's not so lucky if the caiman manages to get a decent bite of the eel. As the high-voltage shocks are discharged, his jaw clamps shut and the pair are locked in a shocking stalemate. Every one of the caiman's muscle fibers spasm uncontrollably before the reptile's heart finally gives out. So could an electric eel kill a human being? A recent research expedition in the Amazon discovered that electric eels actually hunt in large packs and work together to deliver a supercharged bolt of energy to attack and disable their prey. Up to 100 eels form a massive prey ball circling their prey and repeatedly shocking them with insanely massive amounts of energy. I think I'll stick to the beach. It's easy to see why electric eels are called the taser of the Amazon. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by a subscriber. Similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you come across, just send it to us. Who knows? We might even feature it in one of our videos. The subscriber pick. In today's subscriber pick, a giant alligator is waiting for a perfect moment to launch an attack on the electric eel. Electric eel is known for stunning his victim by discharging high-voltage electricity through his body. As the alligator comes close to the eel, it stuns the alligator. The alligator can be seen trembling critically due to the impact of the high-voltage electricity. Electric catfish. Similar to the electric eel, there is another underwater animal that can produce an electric current of up to 350 volts using an electric organ. An electric catfish. This species of catfish are found in the Nile River in tropical Africa. They are nocturnal and carnivorous. The shock of these catfish is used to stun prey and in defense. It is not known to be fatal to humans, but large electric catfish can stun an adult person. In small electric catfish, the generated current is far less and only feels like a tingle to humans. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.